Hello and welcome back to the Lore Raider. Oh my god guys, today's Nintendo Direct trailer for Metroid Beyond was astounding. Revealing just enough information to hook us in, but also keep us wondering. The game's as stunning as ever, and most importantly, I feel this trailer has vindicated what I've been saying for years. So, without further ado, let's look at the 5 things that stood out to me in the Metroid Prime Beyond trailer 2. First, let's talk some of the new abilities Samus gets in this game. The Psychic Powers. In the gameplay trailer, we see this manifested in 2 abilities. Telekinesis, which lets her move both what appears to be raw energy, as well as solid material, and even more impressively, to me, what appears to be outright time-stop powers. Notice how when Samus controls the trajectory of her beam, the enemies are completely unmoving. Now this isn't the first time we have seen Samus with time powers, of course. Most notably in Samus Returns, she has a time slow ability, Phase Drift. What I am most curious about is, with this taking place after Other Rim, but before Fusion, recall that Super Metroid takes place in 20XD7, Beyond 20XD9, and Fusion 8 years post-Super. I wonder where these psychic powers have gone by the time of Fusion and Dread. Of course, Samus is well known to sandbag and keep powers in reserve, such as never using Concentration and Crystal Flash out of their respective games. But I am to wonder if she'll maintain these powers after the end of the game, or will they be taken from her, sort of like Prime 3's Phazon powers. So as both a lore raider and a scaler, this is what I nearly jumped out of my seat for. I have said for years that Samus Aran and Metroid in general has transcended time and space. But this trailer comes out and says, with Samus being summoned to Viros, with threats intertwining beyond time and space. Take a listen.
And what will be her fate after being summoned to Viros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time.
What this tells me at the Beyond in Metroid Prime Beyond is referring to beyond time and space and maybe other dimensions. To what extent? Who knows? It also should give us a hint that given Samus was transported here at the start of the trailer in a way unlike what we've seen transportation do before, the whole planet of Viros itself could be a higher dimensional realm, which would prove itself to be extremely interesting if that's the case. All in all, 5D Samus is no longer controversial, but all but an ironclad fact at this point. We can all look forward to vs. Battle Wiki making corrections they should have done a long time ago. Let's talk the new alien race we're greeted to. We see in this scan log early into the trailer that the species is known as the Lamorn, and we actually can surmise a fair bit about their nature from this trailer. I suspect that they're one of the Starborn races in Metroid, which include the likes of the Chozo, the Luminoth, and the extinct Olympics. We see that similar to the Olympics, the Lamorn were clearly a psychic people, given all the abilities we see Samus perform can be attributed to their, quote, ancient power. What's also interesting here is if we look very closely at the Lamorn that talks to Samus, if you look at its lower body, it is actually translucent. This also strongly points to it being among the Starborn races, as the only races with manifest souls we've ever seen in Metroid are the Chozo, as seen in Prime 1 with the, Chozo ghosts, and Super Metroid as the Covern, as well as the Olympic ghosts which bring Samus to the afterlife briefly at the end of Metroid Prime Hunters. So we know they have similar origins to those other races, and they are ancient. But this leaves us with a mystery. Did they have contact with the other races? On one hand, the Chozo, Olympics, and Luminoth never mentioned doing business with the Lamorn. But on the other hand, Samus' suit seems to be able to work with their power, similar to how it suggested the screw attack is of combined Chozo-Luminoth origin, so we'll just have to see. So this is the second thing this trailer has vindicated me on. Much to the shock of many, a while back I dropped a comprehensive video looking into the lore of Samus being described as the God-picked Chosen One, ranging from how she answers the prayers of many species, passively creates new timelines by existing, and is given such titles as the Entrusted One by the Chozo. But once again, Beyond seems to be saying the quiet part loud for once, as our Lamorne friend comes out and simply calls Samus Aran the Chosen One right to her face without mincing any words. That's right, baby, Samus is Space Jesus! And with the trailer mentioning that Samus Aran's fate in this game is going to be important,
And what will be her fate after being summoned to Vuros?
it'll be interesting to see what this game will reveal about Samus Aran's destiny. By Samus Joy, Samus becomes self-aware of her role as a protector of the galaxy and torchbearer, something not seen at any prior point in the timeline. So it'll be interesting to see if beyond is sort of that start of the character shift for Samus. The number one thing that jumped out at me was, where in the world is Silex? In the first Beyond trailer, he and his space pirate forces were presented as the main threats of the game. However, I long suspected that Silex would not be the main antagonist and sort of a red herring, as I didn't see how a second-rate bounty hunter with a couple of pirates and some flimsy Talvanian mock droids could be a true threat to Samus, and I suspect I'm correct in this. As in the second trailer, there is no sign of Silex anywhere. No sign of his pirate forces coming to storm the planet of Vumos. The only hints of his presence we see are the Talvanian mock droids that appear briefly in this trailer, with every other enemy appearing to be natives of the planet. I also think it's worth keeping in mind that between the fact this quest clearly calls for more than just a bounty hunter, but the Chosen One, and that this involves threats beyond time and space, and psychic powers, it's very likely Silex is going to get slapped aside like the 2-bit threat that he is, in place of the actual threat here. So what could the true threat be? From existing lore, it could be the core of Phazon, given it is the Metroid Prime series, of course. Perhaps the spirit of Dark Samus. But I have no proof of this. We do know for a fact that True Form Phantoon is still out there. He dwells in multiple higher dimensions. But I would expect we will see an entirely new threat now. Only time can tell. But that is my analysis. What did you think? Do you think I'm onto something? Did you find it informative? Let me know what you think down below. But until then, you know I leave you. Be safe, be wise, and please pray for a true peace in space.